Good morning. And when they opened those doors a few minutes ago, we saw a handful of people stand out front. And we are staying 75 feet back per state law. But we do have Tom Collins here. He is the executive director of the Arizona Clean Elections Commission. He is here to talk a little bit about emergency voting and what people need to know. He's also going to kind of run you through a Q&A for tomorrow. Good morning, and thanks for meeting us.
Oh, thank you. Good morning.
We saw a few folks head into Burton Bar Library right when it opened at 9 a.m. Explain what emergency voting is, because I think it is a little confusing for some folks out there. It is different than early voting.
Right, it is. So emergency voting means that something has happened since early voting ended. So early voting ended at 7 p.m. on Friday. That means something has happened between Friday and today that is going to prevent you from voting tomorrow. And so basically when you come in, you're going to have to attest to that. There's a form you have to sign that says under oath, I had this something occur that's going to prevent me from voting on election day, and so I need to vote today.
So the hours are 9 to 5 until 5 o'clock tonight. So what if you have a mail-in ballot at home and you forgot to send it in the mail? Are you able to drop it off today?
Absolutely. You can. You can, that 9 to 5, during that 9 to 5, you can bring it to an emergency voting location, and they're going to take that, and that will get it in before tomorrow.
So 150 locations have got the information on your screen right now. Let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. We know that even more voting centers will be open tomorrow, nearly 250 in Maricopa County. What's your biggest piece of advice to somebody going to the polls tomorrow and doesn't even have a mail-in ballot that they're dropping off? They just love to go to the polls on election day and cast their ballot.
First of all, I think you should, if you have internet access, you should take a look at the Maricopa County's website for the location and the time online. Because of the very long ballot this year, there may be a little longer line than you're used to, but you know, the voting location down the street may not have a line. So take a look. That website's going to give you a list of locations closest to the address you enter. So you might want to look at a couple of those before you head out to make sure that you're saving the most time.
And you also probably want to look at the ballot just so you know who you're going to vote for, right? Because it could take you a long time to fill it out.
That's right. You know, if you can print out a sample ballot or even make some notes to yourself about what you want to do, it's an open book test. There's no points for having it memorized, so get in there and get out the fastest you can do that.
And you don't have to vote for every race, which I think sometimes people don't always realize. And then finally, let's talk about the mail-in ballots. Sure. You got yours at home. We just want to stress, and we know we've talked about it a lot, but maybe there's somebody watching that hasn't watched in a few days. Do not put it in the mail.
Right. That's absolutely right. If you've got that green envelope, if you're in Maricopa County, you need to carry it to a voting location and drop it off. And you can skip the line. You can drop it off. Many people do this, and the county recorders are expecting those, so bring them on in.
Okay, thank you so much, Tom Collins, the executive director of Arizona Clean Elections, meeting with us here today on emergency voting. Again, that ends at 5 o'clock tonight. And election day, the polls open statewide at 6, close at 7. You just have to be in line, guys, at 7 o'clock tomorrow to be able to cast your ballot. We'll send it back to you all.
Kylie, thank you so much for everything you need to know about Election Day, from voting center locations and anything in between. Who's on the ballot, propositions. We've got it all for you on our AZ Family Voter Guide. Just scan that QR code on your screen for a link to the information.